Line boiling effect in Blender is very simple to achieve with just a modifier, but it's very easy to mess up as well. Exaggerated for dramatic purposes. So let's see how we can, use it and control the effect properly. It's just a modifier, but there are a lot of underlying controls and underlying factors that can decide how good the effect can look like. So let's see, we have this default brush. This is icons are customized, but the settings are default. So we draw a rectangle for the demo, right? Oh, now let's hide this for now, and let's okay. So that's it. Let's pretend this was not there. So and now we want to add a line boil effect to this guy. So what we can do is just go to add search, add modifier search, and add a noise modifier, and this should theoretically add the line boil effect. But this is just making the cube jump around and stuff. This is not adding the wiggle in the line art and everything, which we would expect, right? Now you can tingle with, you can mess with the settings to get something that you want. Maybe bring the scale down a bit, you know, do something like that. Now it looks bit better, but the effect is still um not what you would expect. The deformation of by the noise modifier is not uniform in all of the parts. Now the reason why this happens is because modifier has to work with the vertices underneath, right? So for example, in this part there are less vertices, and if we, as you can see, there's less noise here. So the simple solution for this would be to add more vertices. And if you have planned it like before, like if you had the line boiling fat pre-planned, what you can do is you can just go select your brush, go to strokes, and turn off the post processing. And this needs a bit of like processing power, so you're gonna wanna have like a good SPC, um unlike me. I'll turn off this for now as well. So if we draw this here, and if I go to edit mode and select all, you can see, because there's no post processing on this brush, so Blender is not simplifying or optimizing the strokes, and it's just adding the points as I'm going, right? Now this will give you a very consistent effect all around the object, and with a complex figure like a character, it's more apparent how big the difference is. But if I turn on this, right, and if I play this, now this is looking more like, a boil effect, and we can basically refine the effect more and everything. So that's one way to get the boiling effect, and video should be done at this point. But let's say you have a 15-second animation and you did not have the post processing on. What would you do now then? Now there are two ways to fix that. Way number one is you can just simply add a subdivision modifier before the noise modifier. And if now oh yeah, you can see the thing. Yeah, as you can see, I'm adding the details, but now it is adding some unnecessary details down here, which is not optimal. But for because we'll have to work with what we've got, because we messed up earlier without, because we didn't go in the project, or there was a shitty client who were requesting you to do this. I don't know what I'm yapping about, but I'll cut this part out. Okay, now it's a bit more nice. We have some more control over this. Um, that's one way to do it. And the other way is a bit complex, but I still want to go through it, and I think it should be more fun. Like for me, it's fun. It has to do something with compositing. So what I am gonna do is I'll turn off every effect here. All of these. We just have a simple animation there, and you know and we're gonna first thing gonna wanna do is we want to separate the ink layer from the, and you like, this is like for the very extreme layer, like if you don't want to add any subdivision modifiers to the thing, you just want to handle things in the post processing. So for post processing, you have to separate the ink layer from the, what do you call it, from the colors. In this case, I would want like this layer to be isolated from the color, right? But for the sake of simplification, we can just use that. So I'm gonna set this transparent, and if you don't know about view layers, you'll have to watch another video on that, which I will make like after this. We'll go into detail after this, but I'll just show you guys just for the sake of demonstration, like how this is gonna work. To be honest, I'm doing it like for the first time myself, so I'm not sure how well this is gonna work, but let's give it a try. Okay, now you just wanna keep your eye on this corner, and sometimes you also wanna look at this, and if you're too scared, maybe you just wanna do this. Nodes can be scary sometimes, but let's get into this. So the base for this effect we're gonna use is the node called dilate and erode, right? What this does is this. Oh, not the mask. I think it takes. Oh, it only works with the mask. So maybe we can use alpha. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna work with alpha, right? And then I'll show you how to turn the alpha back into the albedo color. Oh, and disclaimer, it only works with a single color. If you have any kind of texture on the line art, that's like texture would work, but a texture isn't color texture. That's not gonna work, right? So we have this, and now if we increase the size, you can get this strength increase, and you can use all of these different methods to do it. I think. Oh man, I hope. Oh man, I hope it doesn't crash. Let's wait for it to be finished. Okay, I'll pause the video. Okay, render didn't crash. It hung for a bit though. Uh, What was the process again? Yeah, that was the process. And now we wanna modify this value based on a noise texture. We don't wanna increase the size all the way through. We just wanna modify it, using this thing. And the topology does not matter because we are working with pixels here. Like topology of this liner does not matter. So let's get a noise texture. The new thing, like the good thing about this new compositor is we have these textures built in. Otherwise, if this was an old version, we would have had to import the textures in somehow. It's a very I'm trying to get a color ramp here. I think we don't need the color ramp at this point, but we'll just add it just in case if we want to modify something. So I'll do this. What the hell? Isn't this a number? Oh, this only affects single values. Ah, man, okay. That's not gonna work then. That's a bummer. Yeah, this is not gonna accept this either. So, well, you can do this in DaVinci Resolve like Fusion, but we're not gonna get there in this video because that we have to export a lot of things out. But just to summarize the whole video, if you have pre-planned to do bring this up. If you have pre-planned to do the effect, you can turn off the simplification or turn down the simplification if you don't want to turn this all the way down. So you have more topology to work with. And if you didn't plan it ahead of time, you can just use a subdivision modifier and then apply the noise that way. Then you won't get these weird ass noise artifacts. So yeah, I guess that's the video. I don't know how much this was not subscripted. What the hell, man? Scripted or anything, right? I just got in and started talking. So I hope I was able to put out some useful information. And before I end this video, I do live stream a lot. So if you go to the live stream section of my channel, you'll see that I live stream almost. I try to live stream almost every week, but I have exams going nowadays. Yeah, that's I'm not doing anything else. But yeah, thank you for watching and subscribe if this was helpful, and try to tune in, like, turn on the notification stuff so when I'm live, you guys can watch it. Yeah.